Greetings, folks. I'm making this video at just before 7 a.m. in the morning, so I'm just trying to wake up here. And I want to show you some recent vinyl finds that I got. I say recent, just over the last weeks, months, things like that. I've got so many to show that I have to break these videos up. I'm buying a lot of non-Beatles stuff lately. And some of these things are brand new, first-time acquisitions, and some of them are things I've had in the past that I don't have anymore. So to start with, we're going to show you a run of Pretenders albums, Chrissie Hynde and her group. And to start with, it's the first debut album, Pretenders. And this particular copy is a radio station copy. It says promotional copy, not for sale. And also on the front, I like the warning that it says. It says the song Precious contains language which may be unsuitable for radio play. There it is. So how cool is that? It's nice to have a little extra like that when you're getting an album. Then we have in the shrink wrap the hype sticker Pretenders 2. And then we have an album that I don't see very often. I think this is from 1990 or thereabouts. It's the album called Packed. Okay, now the next one is an album that I had in really nice shape once upon a time. And it might have even been in the original shrink wrap, although I can't swear to it, but it was a really nice copy. And as things happen sometimes when you sell records and you're trying to make some money back, I let this one go, and I've regretted it ever since. And I found another one, not in the shrink wrap, but in really great shape. It's the debut album by The Seeds. And the reason that I really love this album, and I like the sound of The Seeds overall. You know, I really like their sound in general. But it has the hit on there, Pushing Too Hard, which is I think it's their only hit, or their biggest hit. And a lot of people, like me, may remember that show called The Mothers-in-Law, right? That's the name. I always get to say Mother-in-Laws or The Mothers-in-Law with Kay Ballard and Eve Arden. And The Seeds were on there, sitcom, singing the song, Pushing Too Hard. And as a kid, I got exposure to that song from there. And that's why I wound up remembering it all these years later. All right, now, I made a Rolling Stones video recently. You might have seen it. Go back and check it out if you haven't, where I picked up a lot of Rolling Stones records. Now, I'm really looking to complete, in a lot of ways, my Rolling Stones collection. Some of these records I had already and subsequently sold. Yeah, it happens, folks. Don't ask me to explain it. These things happen. But now I'm going to keep them. So these are some albums that I've had. Some of them I haven't, which is going to be interesting for some of you, okay? I'm talking about the U.S. albums. I only want to collect the Stones' U.S. albums, really. So, start out with 12 by 5, and I'm so sorry about the glare in here, you know? 12 by 5 in mono. Now, I could open these up and show the label. You know, this is a dark red label. But it's a lot of trouble sometimes peeling the sticky flap. All right, this is one I really wasn't going to buy. Well, this one I'll show you because it's in one of these easy sleeves here. This is not one of my favorite Rolling Stones albums. This is the Rolling Stones Now. But this is in really good shape, and for quite cheap I got this. This one, though, is in stereo. You know, and I'm not really wild about stereo. I like pure stereo, and we'll get to that later. But I'm not wild about the electronically reprocessed stereo. Well, yet it was so cheap. And this one, you know, being stereo, it is on the Stereophonic London label. Okay, now in the last video that I made about the Stones, by the way, this is recorded at Bell Sound. There's a sticker here that touts that this is recorded at Bell Sound. Now, on the last video that I made featuring all Rolling Stones records, I picked up the record Aftermath in mono, which I usually like to get, but I had heard, and this is in really good shape. I'm going to take this one off here, in a sleeve. I'd heard that this one was in original true stereo, and supposedly this album, Aftermath, sounds really amazing in true stereo. So I went ahead and I picked it up. Really good shape, fantastic shape. Once again, we got the stereophonic label, but this is supposed to sound really amazing. As I said before, in a sleeve. So I'm hoping that comes out to be true when I play it. Now here's a Rolling Stones album that's going to surprise a lot of you. Okay, because I've never heard this album before. It's one of their best, I hear, maybe the best, some people say. It is none other than Exile on Main Street. I've avoided this for a long time. Somebody who knows me says, oh, I don't think you'd like that album. Well, whatever, we'll find out when the time comes. And when I do one of my first time spins videos, we'll really get to hear whether or not I like it. This has the hype sticker on it, which is really good. That's an asset to this. And again, this record, I think I got this record for a steal. You know, this was pretty good. And I don't know everything that comes in these albums, you know, the inner sleeves and so forth. But I do know this one was touted as having cards. And this may even be the original shrink wrap, I'm not sure. So, here are cards. I think these were connected once upon a time. They're not really connected, they're coming apart a little bit at the perforations mark. Okay, so that's a good one. Now, next up, let's go back to the females. And an album that I had, I must have had this album on vinyl going back to the late 70s, early 80s, about at least three times in my collection so far. It's Plastic Letters, Blondie's second album. And, you know. Now, the thing that I find surprising about this particular album, this one I will show you. The thing I find surprising about this one is that it's on a different label. You know, I don't know how to say this. Chrysalis, this label. I've never seen it on a green label before. It's always been the blue, light blue and white kind of label. This is green. Now, I'm told this is the very first press. You know, you look up as much information as you can find, and supposedly this is a first press on green. I'd like to know that for sure. Keep it up with Blondie, we have Rapture, this being the extended special disco mix to Rapture. You know, a song that has rap in it, and I thought it was really cool. It was really cool having Deborah Harry doing rap back in the day, but you know, I don't need rap in every single song, which is what happens, you know, from the 1980s on. All right, next up, this is Sunday Girl. Beautiful cover. This is worth it just for the cover. Gorgeous cover of Debbie. It has Sunday Girl, the French version. This is the French version. And it has I Know, But I Don't Know on it. And here it is advertising past Blondie albums. I think, somebody let me know, I think this is going to be reissued for Record Store Day. If this is going to be reissued for Record Store Day, I'm happy to have this one, because I don't really like reissues, unless, of course, it's a special occasion or, it's impossible to get the original or something like that. All right, this is a really good find from 1983. It's a Joan Jett and the Blackhearts album in the shrink wrap called Album, simply. Now, what's really cool about this one is, since it's in the original shrink wrap, it has a sticker that has the name of the group and the name of the album, simply Album. And if you bought this album brand new, as I did in 1983, I had bought I Love Rock and Roll. I became a Joan Jett fanatic. I counted the minutes and hours until this album was released after the follow-up to I Love Rock and Roll. But back in those days, I just pulled the shrink wrap off and I lost this sticker. I might actually have this in a scrapbook. I might have saved this sticker in a scrapbook somewhere. But anyway, this is cool because of that. And this is the second copy I have of this, by the way. This was only $15. I thought it was going to be a lot more. $15 to have this with the sticker on it. And I already have one. So this is my second copy with the sticker. So this is also a Joan Jett record that I'm going to show you. And it's one that I already have, but in slightly lesser condition. This is an upgrade. And it's a really beautiful 12-inch version of her song Cherry Bomb, and the glare really doesn't do it justice, you know. Love the cover on that with the lighter and the bomb. Great group shot on the back. Okay, next up, a couple of records that are replacements again, you know, getting them over again. We start with Magic Bus, The Who. You know, I've become a Who fan, and I had a good amount of their records. And now I really have it because this one says WGLI copy, do not remove. I almost didn't buy it because of that, because, I don't know, like I said, sometimes it's cool to have little stickers or extra stampers or things like that. WGLI copy, do not remove. So I thought that was nice. This is an original Decca, black Decca label. And finally, this is another one that I gained back again. It's Tommy the Who. And of course, this one I have, it has the booklet in it. I'm not going to pull the booklet out. Sorry, some days you do, some days you don't. No booklet to show here, but there is the booklet in it. So that's it, folks. So thank you for watching this. As I told you at the beginning, I have got a lot of non-Beatles records to show you. Currently, that's where my passion is right now. I'm buying like a lot of non-Beatles stuff. But I have Beatles stuff too. So eventually I'll get to a vinyl finds with Beatles. I got some vinyl and maybe a little memorabilia here and there with the Fab Four. So thanks, everybody. And I'm ready to start my day. Have a great day. It's very early over here. Got to get moving.